Hey guys, Ashwin Vidyala here, and today I want to talk to you guys about how you recognize experts, and I'm going to tell you why that even matters. So I've had a professor in college. I think it was last semester or the semester before that. I think it was last semester, and this guy said okay, quite frankly, I don't really like the guy for various reasons, but it is indisputable that he is extremely good at what he teaches. No question. He's probably, I think, one of the best, definitely in the state of Texas, and I think one of the best in the country at what he does. He's extremely good. And so he said, and I think I heard this before as well, but the last time I heard it was from him. You can tell somebody's an expert if they can explain complex concepts simply. If somebody can explain a complex concept simply, he is an expert. He or she is an expert. Which he actually, and I don't admit it, he really could do that. He did have the ability to explain complex concepts simply. And he was pretty good at that. This semester, and okay, that's one way you can recognize an expert. Now, this semester I have another professor. And this guy is awesome. I mean, he will make you laugh all the time, and he's a little weird and funny, and it's like very opening. It's a very important quality in a teacher, because if we can make people have fun when they're learning, they learn more, they learn better, and all that stuff. But every time he explains something, a concept, it's like I don't understand how. It's like he'll explain a concept, boom, he'll give you an example. Doesn't matter what concept is, how complex it is, he will break it down to the simplest minutia, and he'll give you an example. It's like he has the examples right off the bat in his head. He doesn't even think, he is such a master at the material that he will tell you the concept, and then he'll come to the front. Okay, let me give you an example to remember that. For every concept, every time. It is unbelievable. So an expert, one, can make complex things simple, and two, he will have examples, stories, mnemonic aids, whatever it is, some way to ingrain the concept in the student's heads or the person who's listening to him. So why is this important? Because if you're ever trying to learn something, it's always better to learn from an expert. Not to say that you cannot learn from somebody who's not an expert, but it will make the process better and faster if you learn from an expert. I remember I was reading an essay by Mahatma Gandhi, and he said, don't just restrict yourself to one religion, studying one religion, read many different religions. And okay, that's besides the point right now. But he said, and this is important, and it relates to this. Make sure when you're reading about these religions, read from known votaries of that religion. A votary is someone who's an expert at it, like a saint, or someone who's an expert at that field. And in terms of this, who's like a known. I can't think of the word right now, but like someone who is a big shot in the religion. How about that? I mean, it's such a horrible way of saying it, but a known votary of the religion. When you're studying a religion, make sure you learn from the known votary of the religion. Why? Because when you're learning about something, if you learn from an expert or from somebody who is a master at that, you will learn a lot more than if you learn from somebody who is not. So which is why, if you know how to recognize an expert, because some people are full of shit. They can talk the talk, and they can put on a facade and portray that they're an expert when in fact they don't know what the hell they're talking about. So if you know how to recognize who an expert is, and if you learn from that individual, doesn't matter what it is. It could be like self-help stuff, success principles, or like a trade, whatever it is. Like in my class, it's decision science, analytics class. Whatever it is. If you can learn from an expert, if you know how to recognize an expert and you can learn from that expert, I think that will really, really improve the learning process for you. Just something to consider.